Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I found this piece of wood out in my barn that was left over from the construction of my house well over 100 years ago, and I figured it might make a nice cookbook or iPad holder for the kitchen, and it would kind of give that rustic barnyard feel, and I believe it would go along quite well with the aesthetics of my general house. So I first cut off a section and of course the obligatory sanding. And it has these raised areas, and I'm not sure why, but as you can see, I'm not exactly skilled in using a hand plane to remove them. So I try sanding them some more. If anybody knows why these boards, they were used down in the basement of my house, why they had these three raised areas, please let me know. They were from the early 1900s, if that helps. Please just let me know in the comments if you have any idea what those were for. I was quite impressed with how well it cleaned up and pretty this piece of wood to be for being out in my barn for decades. Next, we had to decide on some measurements and size for our cookbook holder, and the board was about 7 inches across, so I decided that I wanted at least an inch on either side. So I would cut off 5 inches, and that would become, my shelf that would hold the cookbook and become the support for the entire contraption. Next, I decided I wanted the front of the shelf to be about 1.5 inches thick, so I marked that off and cut it off from the main piece. Next, I had to decide placement of the mortise. Well, I don't guess you could call it a mortise. I guess you'd just call it a hole, and how far up it needed to be to provide the proper angle for displaying the cookbook and propping it up. After cutting it out with a jigsaw, I realized it probably would have been a bit easier if I had used my router, but you live and you learn, and I'm still new to using my router. So now, for the first time, I use a chisel. I was actually pretty proud with how well this went, and I kind of wish I'd used the chisels a little earlier. There was just something oddly satisfying about removing the wood completely by hand in this manner. Now for a quick fit test, and I realize I took out a little too much on each side, but what's done is done at this point. I went back and forth over the best way to join these, and I finally decided on a couple of dowels and some good old-fashioned wood glue. And I just bought a new fancy dowel jig, but I quickly discovered that I needed some practice with using it, so you will not see me fumbling around with it on this video. Wait, I lied. I'll provide a little bit of footage of me fumbling around with it. Clearly, I don't know what in the world I am doing. And after applying the glue and clamping it down, I let it sit to dry for the evening. As you can see, I'm still dying to use my router. It wasn't going well, and the filming of it was even going worse as the camera was moved somehow. But I ended up using a 1/4 inch round over bit, and yeah, that's not the safest way to do it. And I really have a router table scheduled as my very next. This is kind of what the process looks like. Now for the part that everybody loves, applying the finish. And this is a mixture of boiled linseed oil and beeswax, which is my favorite go-to. I really like how it's making the old wood shine here. So I apply a liberal coat, then let it sit to dry, come back and buff it after a while, and then repeat the process a couple of times. And here's the finished product. I know there's a few things I could improve on. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, stay safe and don't forget to smile. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.